everyone! Welcome to RT with Jeannie. This channel is for recreational therapists and healthcare workers to be reminded of and learn of the benefits of recreational therapy. Today we'll be talking about mood disorders, so let's get right into it. So we've all experienced being in a bad mood. We get a little grumpy, irritable, maybe not motivated to do much, but these last for a relatively short amount of time. But those with a mood disorder experience symptoms that impair normal functioning sustained over a long period of time, and is often in cyclical patterns. Someone with a mood disorder may have a hard time concentrating, they may not be interested in doing activities, they may experience changes in eating and sleeping patterns, and they will likely experience an overall lack of energy. So mood disorders encompass a wide range of depressive disorders as well as bipolar disorder. Anxiety disorders can also play a part on your mood, but it's not quite the same thing. They can often go hand in hand. People will experience having both depression and anxiety. So anxiety can be characterized by intense worry, fear, panic, and racing thoughts. Physically, anxiety brings an individual to a heightened arousal, so increased heart rate, shortness of breath, dizziness. Whereas someone with depression may experience feelings of worthlessness, hopelessness, sadness, and physically experience low energy, loss of appetite, physical achiness, insomnia, or hyperinsomnia, and more. So bipolar disorder is characterized by a fluctuation of mood swings that impact normal functioning. People with bipolar disorder experience both manic and depressive episodes, which can last for days, weeks, and even months at a time. Manic episodes involve feeling very energetic, have a high self-esteem, and are overall happy. These seem like very positive symptoms. However, when in this state, people can make bad decisions, behave recklessly, refrain from sleeping, and may experience delusions of grandeur, such as thinking they have a supernatural power. Hypomania is similar to mania, but it is less disruptive. If someone has bipolar 1, they experience one or more manic episodes, whereas someone with bipolar 2 experiences a hypomanic episode and a major depressive episode. As for depressive disorders, there are many different types, including major depressive disorder, persistent depressive disorder, or otherwise known as dysthymia, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, postpartum depression, seasonal affective disorder, and finally, a depressive disorder that's maybe related to another medical condition. Depression can often be comorbid, so it's important to be aware of all the conditions one might be going through when you're helping them. So according to the World Health Organization, globally, more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from a mood disorder and depression. I'm sure we can all think of someone who struggles with depression or a mood disorder, as it is very common. And you may or may not be surprised to hear that Olympic medalist Elizabeth Manley, Prime Minister Sir John A. Macdonald, comedian Jim Carrey, and Olympian Michael Phelps have all struggled with a mood disorder at some point in their life. Mood disorders can be treated with medications, cognitive behavioral therapy, and family therapy. There's also many leisure benefits to those dealing with mood disorders, and that is where recreational therapy comes in. So one disclaimer I will make for you rec therapists out there is that rec therapists should only step in when symptoms are mostly under control. It may take a long time for someone to be put on medications that are right for them, so only after that is all figured out and balanced will we ask someone with depression or bipolar to engage in leisure activities. So people with depression, like many, can benefit from social, cognitive, emotional, and physical activities. Socializing can be difficult for people with depression because of their low self-esteem, negative thoughts about themselves, and just overall lack of energy. But it can be helpful for these people to connect with one another, people that are going through the same thing, so that they know they're not alone in this. Exercise and physical activity has been proven to alleviate symptoms of depression. And as you know, this can be done in many different forms. It can be done outside, and then you can combine it with outdoor recreation. It can be done in a gym, or you could set up a circuit or work out in the client's home. Or it can even be attending a Zumba class together, or yoga, or the list goes on. Some activities to focus on the cognitive domain could be working on an art project, a puzzle, or learning a new skill with them. Just anything to get them thinking and kind of out of their head would be helpful for someone with a mood disorder. The emotional domain is important to focus on when it comes to people with depression, as it can address their own thoughts and feelings directly. So music can be a really helpful tool to see where your clients are at emotionally. You can start by asking them what song best describes their emotions right now. And then you can have them listen to the song and then let the music do the talking. From there, you could ask them to recall a happy time in their life and ask them what song could represent that. Just remember that if you're a recreational therapist, you aren't a music therapist, so just be careful not to label it as such. Having people express themselves could also be great. You could do that through art, dance, and it's just a great way for people to connect with their emotions. Remember that your role as a rec therapist is to support the client to select activities that will contribute to their overall well-being. We can't force anything on people, but we can help build self-esteem and educate why participating in meaningful leisure activities is healthy. So for people with bipolar disorder, we may be with the client when they're experiencing a depression episode or a manic episode. So we gotta have activities ready for either or. If they're feeling a bit more depressed, then having activities that would boost their energy would be helpful. Whereas if they're in a manic episode, they would often benefit from activities that would help them relax and come down from their high a little bit. So it's important as rec therapists to really recognize the barriers that our clients are experiencing so that we can better understand how to help them. And I kind of mentioned these earlier, but people with mood disorders experience just a lack of energy, a lack of interest. They may not feel good about themselves. They just may be fearful or anxious about participating. So just remember that your role as a rec therapist is to motivate, be a companion for them, and just encourage them to be their best. So that's all I have for you today. If you have any other recommendations for working with people with mood disorders, just put them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.